Welcome back. It is Friday, June 16th, and the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. Let's recap yesterday. It's Austin and Logan. You know who we are. It was a 2-on-1 day. Hey, we'll take it, Logan. A little bit of a 2 straight winning days. Let's try to go for a third straight today. But your pick, talk about sweat-free, the over in the Guardians-Padres first 5. I don't think you can draw it up any better. The Guardians scored 5 runs in the top of the first, and the Padres tacked on another 3 in the bottom of the first. A sweat-free winner. Our NRFI cashes as well. Unfortunately, at the cost of the NRFI, my game had a ton of runs scored. My first lean was Tigers plus 1.5. That naturally, they won outright. But hey, we'll never complain about a 2-on-1 day. Let's try to hhopefully get that illustrious 3-0 sweep that has been eluding us for a hot minute. But if you are new, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button, drop a like too. We certainly would appreciate it. Now, if you want to sign up for Bet365, it's available in a bunch of different U.S. states, and you can get $200 worth of bonus bets on Friday's MLB slate. All you got to do is bet $1 on the money line on any MLB team, and you're going to get those $200 worth of bonus bets. Here's how you claim it. Sign up with our top link in the description. Deposit $10, make a $1 money line bet on any team. You get $200 worth of bonus bets after that bet settles. It doesn't matter if it wins or loses. Available in New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, and Colorado. And if you're in Iowa, you can actually get $365 there because they are a new sports book, a new state where they are live in. But either way, Logan, it's time to go for another winning day. I don't know if you can give us a sweat-free winner like yesterday, but I'll let you try what you got for the people today.
If this one cashes in the bottom of the first inning, I'll buy a Mariners jersey. Straight up, I will, because that would be some crazy luck. But we're going to the Mariners game. I'm taking the Mariners team total over 4 runs in this one. Plus 100 odds on Caesars is currently your best value. I do like the fact that I am getting even odds on this one. And you could get it at 3.5. We might have questions about that. But I don't want to lay the minus 140 juice, not on a team total. I mean, if you want to lay that juice, maybe you pair it with somebody to get a hit. But hey, man, I watched Fernando Tatis go over last night, and the Padres still scored a ton of runs. So that is how baseball works. People love when I say that's not how baseball works. I'll tell you, good hitters don't get hits all the time, just how it works. But I tend to lean the Mariners money line, but I don't want to trust Brian Wu to lead me to victory, right? Then my initial look, I was like, maybe it's a good time to pick Mariners money line, but I'm not going to come on here and tell you anything about Brian Wu, a guy with a double-digit ERA that I don't know a whole lot about, but I do know a whole lot about Michael Kopech. Kopech starting for the White Sox today, 4.03 ERA and a 1.18 whip. Look at those numbers. You're like, okay, pretty average to decent numbers. No, I think the numbers on Kopech lie a lot. 23rd percentile in walk percentage, 25th percentile in hard hit percentage. Look, when you throw hard, you get hit hard. That's just some simple math right there. And Kopech being 23rd in walk percentage, I'm going to talk about that, why that's important in a second. But I mean, putting on free base runners, that's more free run opportunities. I like that. And Kopech's expected ERA, 4.84. It's hovering near 5. And I think there should be run opportunities for this Mariners offense today. You look at Kopech. This is what I'm talking about. He uses his fastball 63% of the time. These Seattle hitters, batting average versus fastball, something that I relied on my pick yesterday. I looked at how they hit versus the primary pitch. You got France hitting 308. You got Julio Rodriguez hitting 234. I would like that to be a little bit better, but that's still okay. Hernandez hitting 283, Crawford 326, and Kelenic 333. I don't know what the Mariners lineup is going to be today, but I imagine the majority of those guys will be in the lineup today against Michael Kopech. Now, does the fact that the Mariners are 28th in strikeouts scare me? Yes, but that's called gambling. You know, there's always going to be conflicting data, and the Mariners are sometimes liable to be a swing and a miss team that gets cooked by them. But the fact that Kopech rarely has his second pitch working means that the Mariners should be able to hunt fastball in this one. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Kopech's walk percentage, because he uses the fastball so much, and if he can't locate the fastball, he's getting hit hard. And if he can't get his secondary pitches working, he's walking people because his secondary pitch, it's not going to be in the zone. And I think these Mariners hitters should attack Kopech that way tonight. You look at Kopech. I just mentioned he gets hit hard. He's allowed 15 home runs in 13 starts this year. Seattle's tied for 15th in home runs at home, so they're middle of the pack in doing that. But I told you last time, I think we picked a Kopech NRFI, and I just sat my head like, oh, we knew better. I know that guy, because he throws hard and you can hunt fastball, that's how you get those extra base hits. Seattle is only hitting 224 in their last 3 home games. They faced the Marlins gauntlet of pitchers in their last series at home. But I think that's the reason we're getting value on this line, because they just did face the Marlins. They got carved up in some of those games. I think this is a good bounce back performance for this offense. And you look at, once Kopech does come out, you've got the White Sox bullpen, 26 in bullpen ERA. There should be run opportunities for the Mariners late in this game. So I do really like the team total. I think the team total is always a good bet to make. Whether or not they win doesn't really matter. They can still cash this team total over. So I do like that as my first pick. But Austin, another game pick. What do you got for us?
Yeah, hopefully this one cashes, and we're going to go to a first 5 pick. Sometimes other books have this as the first half, but I'm going to go to a big-time game. Yankees, Red Sox, you know everyone loves this rivalry. I'm taking the under 5.5 in the first 5 innings at -118 on FanDuel. I would not be surprised to see if this landed at 5 on FanDuel by closer to first pitch, and if it is at 5, I don't mind it there. Obviously, you have push potential there, whereas, we're not going to have push potential here, but for starters, FanDuel is begging people. They got an overlay graphic, a quick hit of the day to take the over 4.5 runs in the first 5 on this one. And I'm not saying we're blindly fading, their overlay graphics that they like to put out. Although the last one that I did fade was they put out the Braves to be the first to score 3 runs in that Tigers game. And we saw Spencer Strider get cooked in the second inning. And that was a -220 bet. The one that they're promoting today is -190. But not only that, we just saw these two pitchers face off in Yankee Stadium. They're now in Fenway Park. But in that game, we did see only 1 run scored in the first 5. Now, I hate saying history is going to repeat itself in baseball because that's not really the sport to say that. This is obviously these two pitchers are going to come in with different probably game plans than they did in their first start. So things definitely happened. I don't think we're lucky enough to get a 1 run scored in the first 5, but we got a lot of wiggle room here at 5.5. But let's dive into this and talk about these two pitchers and why we're on the under in the first 5. Now, for starters, you got Domingo Germán. He's going to start for the Yankees. He's been pretty good this year, 3.4 or 4.9 ERA and a .99 WHIP. So getting a WHIP below 1, pretty solid. He's allowing just a .186 batting average this season and only a 156 to lefties. Now, you look at the lefties that probably you're going to see in the lineup. You're going to see Verdugo, Devers, Yoshida, Duran. Those guys are all lefties. This is a team in the Red Sox that naturally has a lot of lefties in their regular starting lineup. Maybe they put a couple righties in there, but that's fine with me. He's had good success versus Red Sox lineup before. 92 total plate appearances versus them. And look, 23.9 K percentage and a .244 batting average. So look, he's had their number. While this is decent hitting weather for him, I'm still confident that Germán can come out here and do his thing. The one thing that concerns me is Germán is a guy that can give up a home run here and there, and it would not surprise me if he gave up a couple home runs tonight. But hopefully he can keep those out of the first 5 innings. He can do whatever he wants in the 6th. But I think he can be able to avoid those mistakes. If it's just a solo home run, we can live with that. We just can't live with 2-3 run home runs. That's going to really put us in a tough spot. But let's talk about after Germán. We're going to also need the Red Sox to have a decent start at a Tanner Houck. Now, you look at his numbers, 5.23 ERA and a 1.26 WHIP. Fun stat, Red Sox lost 6 straight Houck starts. Now, I'm not saying go out and bet the Yankees money line, as you'll hear why. I'm not thinking the Yankees win this game. But there's worth noting. You've seen Houck gave up 2 home runs in his last start versus the Yankees. We know the Yankees are a swing for the fences type team. Houck not allowed a home run in back-to-back starts all year long. So if he can limit the home run ball here and make the Yankees beat him with singles and doubles and consecutive hits, I'll live with it. We can't have, him tossing turkeys out there and seeing, the 2-3 run home runs, because that's going to put us in a tough spot. But like I talked about, the Yankees, I think, would be favored in this game, given how good Germán has been. But the books clearly do not trust the Yankees offense, and you can't blame them. You look at over the last 15 days, Judge went down about 13 days ago on June 3rd. You've seen this Yankees team. Worst batting average in the league at just a .192. They've hit 17 home runs over that span, which is tied for 9th most. But if they are getting the home runs, which Houck has been able to limit pretty good, I don't know where this offense is going to score a lot. If we can see Houck come out here and pitch a decent game, if he's only giving up 2 earned runs or so, I'm confident Germán can at least give us a quality start out there. And like the Red Sox obviously are a good hitting team at home, but this team, they just haven't looked as good as we had seen them, back in April and May. And hopefully they was just slow out of the gates in this one. The Red Sox just had a day off. It's also, sometimes when you get a day off, it might mess up with your normal rhythm and routine. I doubt they all were focusing on baseball all of yesterday. So they're going to come in here, maybe a little bit cold. Maybe the bats are slow to heat up, and maybe we see some runs later on in this game. Obviously, the game comes in with a 9.5 total, but we know that's because the Red Sox bullpen is liable for giving up, 3, 4, 5 runs just by their own. I think there's runs scored in the first 5, but 5.5 gives up some wiggle room. I like the under 5.5 runs in the first 5. It's -118. Not terrible value here. Give it to me. That's my favorite pick of the day. But Logan, you know what time it is, baby. Nerf Nation time, baby. The flags are out. We need 6 quick outs. And boy, I think we got a good one to get it done. And if you're looking at the slate, yeah, you probably don't. It's pretty obvious which one we're going to, because we're going to our Nerfy GOAT. which Logan will get the opportunity to talk about him. But let's go to it. Marlins and Nationals taking the no-run first inning, minus 115 on DraftKings. This is going to be a popular one today. There's no denying that. Ours yesterday was pretty popular, and luckily we got it done. But let's talk about who's going to lead off the game and who's going to start for the Nationals. It's going to be Trevor Williams. Now, Williams is 11-2 on no-run first innings. What I do like is that he had an 11-game NRFI streak going into his last start, and that got ruined. That feels like normally when we get wrong is we take a guy who's on 11 straight, then he gives up a Yerfie. I like him to bounce back here. We've talked about it before. Marlins, 29th in first inning runs. He is a righty, too. I normally don't like taking lefties versus the Marlins because you always got Soler swinging for the fences, and he always hits lefties well, but I think Trevor Williams will get us those first 3 outs. He's done pretty well here, but who's on the other side, Logan? You can hype him up.
Yeah, it's our NRFI goat, Sandy Alcantara, and that's what Austin meant. Why it's so obvious who we're in. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think that's what we're getting with Sandy. Sandy 12-1 on no-run first innings this year. The Nationals 12th in first inning runs. Nationals are a good offense. I'm not going to disrespect them at all. They definitely know how to get some hits and runs, and that could come later in this game. But because the over/under is set to 8.5, which I do think is a bit high between these two pitchers. But these two pitchers have shown that they can give up runs. It just usually comes in the later half of the first 5 innings. So hopefully they can keep it out of the first. Yes, this will be a very popular NRFI today. Austin and I absolutely hate picking the most obvious and the most popular NRFI on the slate. This is usually the ones that turn into L's, but this is just a system play. We have to take it. NRFI Nation, let's go. Come on, Sandy. You've never heard us, right?
Now, you would never. System play it is. We're cashing this one, getting NRFI Nation back in a row, getting 2 straight. So let's get it done. We have a parlay of the day, which is 3 NRFIs, which you can check it out. The link's right above my face. We got the Marlins and Nationals in there, but we also got 2 other NRFIs that we did consider and like that are later on in the slate. And if that NRFI parlay hits, well, we're giving away some money. So make sure you figure out how to enter our giveaway at 2 p.m. Eastern on Twitter at CallInnerShot. Make sure you go see that. But let's have a great day, Logan. Let's bring out those brooms, or at least have a 3rd straight winning day. And we'll see you guys back again on Saturday for some more picks. See you guys then. Peace.